because now all of a sudden UCLA is in need of a head coach. And when I heard this name in terms of who they actually went to hire who this new head coach is going to be honest with you, I had to look at the Wikipedia page. I had to go do a Google search because when I heard this name called, I really was not familiar with his name at all. Deshaun Xavier Foster, a former UCLA alumni back in the late 1900s, early 2000s. I know I just dated some people saying that. Let me try to say that a little bit. He was late 1990s, early 2000s. He was at UCLA. He was a running back at UCLA. So, UCLA alumni, he gets named the new head coach in wake of Chip Kelly departing, and he will become the 19th head coach in the history of the UCLA football program. Now, Deshaun Foster has had a lucrative playing career in his time at college, as well as having a somewhat successful NFL career. He was someone that ended up being an All American by the time his senior year, ended up rolling around, was a very successful running back at UCLA, so much so that he ends up becoming not only an NFL draftee in the 2002 NFL draft, he nearly was a first round pick. He ended up being selected as the 34th overall pick in the NFL draft back in 2002. He was an early second round pick. He ended up spending most of his time in Carolina, but he also had a stop in San Francisco as well. And like I said, it was a decent career in the NFL. He ended up amassing over 4,600 yards of total offense during his NFL career. Definitely 4,600 more yards than what I've ever accomplished, and 16 total touchdowns. He had a good career. But his coaching resume is really interesting. You, Foster, Deshaun Foster never has been a head coach anywhere at the high school or college level. He's also never been a coordinator at any level either. He was a special assistant in 2013 and then was promoted to a grad assistant in 2014 to 2015. And then after that, he's been a running back coach at Texas Tech and then came back to UCLA as the running backs coach. So he's only been a grad assistant and he's been a running backs coach during his coaching career post NFL. So the good news is, from what I've been hearing in UCLA circles, is that the players love this guy. The players absolutely love Deshaun Foster. The challenge for him is to navigate being a first time head coach in an extremely tough league. You still have to deal with Oregon, Washington, and USC. You also now have the luxury of having to travel out to the East Coast. Got to play tough teams out there too. Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, the big boys. Can't certainly count out Maryland. Nebraska is on the upswing. It's going to be a difficult time for him. So my thing for him, if this is going to work, if Deshaun Foster is going to succeed as the head coach of UCLA, two things need to happen. Two things, well, now I think about it, three things need to happen. He needs to have a strong understanding of NIL and the transfer portal. You have the LA market in your backyard. So if you utilize your alumni connections and the local community correctly, UCLA is kind of this sleeping giant in terms of they could be a strong player in the NIL game, but they just haven't done so. It hasn't happened since we've seen the floodgates of NIL open up just yet. That's fine. but that doesn't mean they never could be. We haven't seen UCLA be a strong NIL player, but just because you haven't done something doesn't mean you can't do something at all. And that certainly could be applied with UCLA and its relationship with NIL. Transfer portal is going to be important as well. Can he navigate the transfer portal to fill any open spots that are on their roster? Now, they did end up losing Dante Moore to one of their conference rivals in Oregon. Are they going to find stability at the quarterback position? Can they find stability and get veteran pieces in a time where UCLA may not have all of its ducks in a row from an administrative standpoint and are getting ready to join a conference that's primarily located in the Midwest? They're going to have to do a lot of traveling. So there's that as well. And then this third and final piece, I think this is arguably the most important piece, is will UCLA be patient enough? This is a guy that has never been a coordinator, never been more than a coordinator in his entire coaching career. He talks UCLA. He bleeds UCLA. So there's no doubt that he wants to be here. There's no doubt about it. But can the administration, can the athletic department at UCLA be patient enough with this young man? And as the kids would say, let him cook. Because there's a real possibility in year number one, it could be a bumpy ride for the Bruins. It might not be pretty in year number one. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it a buck. But if you let him be patient and let him build this program in his image, and he can do the other things like work NIL, work the transfer portal, even though he's never been more than an offensive coordinator, that doesn't mean he can't succeed. He can be successful. He's just going to need some time. And I think he also needs to be cognizant of bringing in folks that fit his vision and fits the culture that he wants to build at UCLA moving forward, but also have experience. Because when you tackle non-experience with more non-experience, it could get messy. It's part of why I'm a little bit concerned with Michigan, seeing them hire from within when you have a first-time head coach, and now you're bringing in a bunch of first-time coordinators as well. It could get a little messy. It could get a little spicy. Could see Michigan take a step back. It's not about Michigan, though. It's about UCLA. But if Deshaun Foster can do all those things, I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine, even though he is a first-time head coach, and it's going to be a unique challenge. It's going to be a unique challenge taking your alma mater. And I think about it like this because I have a buddy that is coaching cross country at my alma mater. He was at my alma mater at the same time that I was. If anyone can sell a university, it's an alumni in a positive way. So he has that going for him. The players do love him. As long as you have the locker room, you at least have a chance. So listen, I'm going to wish him the best of luck. Big Ten ain't going to be easy. It might not be the SEC. But I'll say this, though. That Big Ten is not going to be easy either. I'm going to tell you that much right now.